morning to ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
This
salam.
morning I will present to you the case analysis of Group 2, Group 6 in relation to Module 2. Module management. Because Group 2 is having a good presentation. Anyhow, this is the theme in the past year. And we believe that even if we are having diverse backgrounds, there is still unity. And we could come up with a better analysis.
Aywa.
So this is not according to height or according to looks. According to this. Anyhow, going to the case study at hand, we will not dwell much on the story of what GP printers institute is. But how do we start in analyzing our case study? We started with going into examining the organizational landscape of the company. So in doing so, we have adopted the McKinsey also. Almost all of us are adopting the McKinsey model. And we know that the McKinsey model has 7 elements, which compose, of course, of the structure, the system, the style, the staff, the skills, the strategy, and the pinnacle of it all, the shared values. And this is actually examining the current state also of the organization. And we found out that as per their structure, they are simple but functional, meaning that even if they are a small organization, they should function according to the area of their responsibility. Then in the system here, there is what we call innovation, an element of innovation. Because from the manual state, they proceeded and they have adopted the computerized business system. And then as regards their staff, the numbers of staff, they started with 20, but eventually they expanded because also of the needs to expand as their business also is going to the market expansion. So these workers have their own skills, and we, according to North Carolina Resource Center, when we see skills, these are functional skills. They are performing their job according to the types of functions that they are having in the organization. And then as regards their leadership styles, we found out in the 2 cases especially that it is consultative and participative. Consultative and participative in the sense that the managing director approaches, especially in decision-making process, approaches the members of the organization of the company in coming up with decisions. There is a consensus building among the members of the organization to come up with reasonable and successful solutions to the problems that we have encountered eventually. And then, as regards their strategy, here, we try to put the strategy in different levels. And we found out that the strategy is on operational level. Operational level in the sense that they try to focus on the tactical aspects. So we need to say the sequence of actions to address the problems or the threats that they have encountered during that period. And as regards the shared values, it was actually not defined. But when you look at the workings of the organization, you could see that it's team-based. There is a collaboration that took place among the members of the organization, because we believe that when there is a collaboration or teamwork among those members, then eventually they could succeed. But these actually are interrelated, and we see this in the case study at hand, that these are synergistically moving, meaning to say that these are complementing each other, that eventually with this complementation of the key elements eventually become successful in their solving or solutions of the problem. Now, let's take a look at how did they strategize, how did they come up with their strategies in the threats that they have encountered. So we started in 1980s. We know about the problems that we encountered in 1980s. There was recession, there was new advent of printing techniques and new printing bureaus, and the customers started to become or going to designers for subcontracting. So these are the factors or issues that they have faced during those periods. And what are the strategies that they have employed, developed, or implemented to address those problems at hand during that time? So these are the strategies. We formed a crisis committee, and the crisis committee recommended for a study, market study, from the Polytechnic. And then from the market study, it was recommended also that we will buy new machines to address the problem that we have encountered during that time. Now, as a result of this, you have technical aspects, new machines, management appointment of marketing director. And there's also improved capabilities as regards the workers. And there's also a development of customer base as regards the customers of the company. But what are the factors that facilitate for the improvement of or success of the strategies? So we determine that the factors that are contributing in the success of the strategies or facilitating the success of the strategies, when it comes to management level, the interests or the foresight of the manager or the managing director during that time jives with the interests of the organization. It is very important to know as a manager that your interest should be aligned with what the organization or members of your organization wants to happen also. Second, there is a support for change. Even if we are trying or introducing new systems in this organization, but they see that this will benefit also them, the workers, and talking about the workers. So even if we have activists during that time, the activists foresee that this will help us. This will make the organization successful. And one important factor also that makes the strategy successful is because of the external assistance. If you are an organization and you don't have capabilities in your organization, then you get external support. You don't have any people to do the strategies there. You don't have experts for that matter to do the strategies during that time. Even if you have marketing, managing director and printing manager. But they see that external assistance is very important for them to come up with their strategies. Now comes another problem in 1989. Here comes again. We have a new system, we have a new computerized or new machines now, and business or volumes of business are coming in the organization. So this creates another dilemma or problem to the company because of the increased volumes of business and works. Now to answer these threats or address these threats, they again develop strategies. In other words, when there is a problem, you develop your strategies to address the problem. And what are the strategies that they develop or deploy? We have here forming again a management team. The managing director directs or recommends that we need to have a managing team to address or find solutions to the problems that we are encountering. And then again, the management team recommended to conduct a study. The management team may not have the capabilities to do the study, and then they again approach Polytechnic to do the study for the organization. And then eventually, the recommendation is that you need to adopt computerized business to keep at pace with the trends during that period. And this now resulted, for lead to these kinds of results, you have adapted CES, you have control system, and improve skills and morale of the human resource, and improve also customer service eventually. But again, what are the factors that contributed to the success of the strategies? As regards management level, the support system changed. I mean, the managing director during that time support the change in the system. There is a need for us to change the system. However, it took them 2 years to do that. As managing director, if you are on the top of the situation, it will not be 2 years. You could even have it in 1 year. You can have it even in 1.5 years. Just to fast track, because we are trying to reduce here the muda, reduce the wastes. No? We could even improve the company if you're a managing director on top of the situation. We could have it in less than 2 years. This is what we actually found out, that might be something wrong with the marketing or managing director's perspective. And then as regards human resource, this decision making actually facilitated by the contribution of the workers. The decision comes because the workers support the need to computerize business system. And then again, here, there is outside external assistance or support coming from outside organization. So again, I would like to stress that if the company does not have capabilities to do the job, then it is possible to come up or to get support from outside or support from external sources. And there come again another problem in 1993, and because of the stiff competition during that time. So the customers have new requirement, they want to have a lowest price, and in fact they want fast delivery of their works. And the approaches or the strategies that the company employed during that time was this one. Now take a look at that. The MD during this time opposed only the design and marketing manager. He astray on what was his usual management style. Before, he was involving the whole organization, workers, in coming up with a possible solution to the problem. But this time, he just went directly to the marketing and design manager. So this leads now to some suspicions on the part of other middle management level. Maybe the marketing and design manager wants to build his own empire. He wants to control the whole organization. And so, since they acknowledge that there is a problem now in the relationship, they again get support from outside sources. So because they thought that they don't have the capabilities to do or solve the problems at this level. So they conducted team building activities, and then once they solve the problem already, then they have to meet the customers and capitalize. So these are the factors that affect them. How about, do you think there is a better way to solve this problem? In our point of view, there is a better way. And we recommended to use the PDCA cycle as approach to solving this problem. And how to do it? We have here the planning, the doing, the checking, and the acting. In planning, we define the problem. We try to determine the root causes of the problem. In doing, we try to create the countermeasures, see countermeasures through, execute the countermeasures that address now the problems at hand. In checking, we try to evaluate if these countermeasures we are doing are related to the problems at hand. And in acting, we need to standardize the process. But doesn't mean that we standardize the process, we stop there. We still need to continuously improve from that process that we have established. And then on changing attitudes and behavior. We want to look at the organization to become a sustaining high-performance organization. In order to do this, we believe there was a vision. There was a thought that we want this company to be a one-stop shop. But the vision was not clearly cascaded to the members of the team. So it is very important that if you have vision as a manager, you need to cascade this to the members of the organization. And this vision actually is determined, or the antecedent of this is the leader's perception of the marketplace. If you have a leader, you should know what are the factors affecting my business. I'm looking at the macro level. I'm looking at other factors that affect my business. And once you have that, then you could have a clear vision which will be shared eventually to the members of the team. Now, this vision should be aligned with the leadership practice of the organization. Does that mean that if I have this vision, I will go with this kind of leadership practice? You have to make sure that it is congruent with how you deal with your members of the organization. And then when this leadership practice is aligned with the shared vision and mission, then here comes the employee's attitude and behavior. So, the employee's attitude and behavior comes in because they have a facilitating leadership practice. They have, or they determine now or know what are the shared vision, mission, and values of the organization. And once they have established the employee's attitude and behaviors, which of course related to job performance, which of course related to delighting our customers, they could build up now a customer loyalty. The customer loyalty refers to how you make sure that the customers will still be with you, even during the bad and the good times. And with this, then we can have the business performance, and eventually your organization will become a highly sustaining, performing organization. But there are also enabling factors or infrastructures that affect these elements. So you have to know that there are performance management, there are also some other aspects that relate or influence the success of these elements. Now, why attitude is important? This is the core of the organization. Attitude is important because of these studies. So we have made some studies on this. According to Cleto survey intelligence, 15 times more employees are enthusiastic with attitude and 60% The employees with attitude and commitment perform 20% better and are 7% likely not to leave the organization. But again, attitude is another thing. So take a look at this video to learn this attitude.